Hello YouTube, this is Logan Film Studios with LEGO Transformers Mini G1 Optimus Prime. So here's Optimus in his semi-truck alt mode. This mode is 4 wide, which shows you how it's mini compared to my normal scale, which is 6 studs wide. The goal for this build was to capture all the details with as few pieces and as simply as I possibly could. As you can see, it has all 6 wheels, and they do roll here. He has the smokestacks here, the clear windshield, in which you can kind of see the blue head back there, but I thought the clear worked best in this scale. He has all the colors: gray bumper, red sides of the truck, white stripe. Using this 1x2 grille piece as the grille of the truck. And you can see here the back is blue and gray, which will become the legs in truck mode. Overall, the truck is very clean. Like, there's not really any kibble at all. The only part that's really not supposed to be there is maybe the circle bits under the smokestacks, but I thought this piece looked pretty good from most other angles other than just from the back here. One flaw with this mode is that the legs don't actually tab together, so if you're not careful, they sort of just flop about like this. So it works best when you're just leaving it on the table like this, and they'll just naturally rest in the proper position here. As an accessory, I did build Optimus Prime's gun, but I didn't actually build the trailer for this, so instead I made it so you can rotate this piece around and store it here on the top of the truck. And this looks pretty goofy, but I think it's a solid way to store the gun without having to have the big, cumbersome trailer behind it. For size comparison, here's my mini Optimus Prime next to a minifigure, and here he is next to my full-sized Bumblebee. So you can see my full-sized Bumblebee is 4 wide, but he's a much smaller character in universe, and the Optimus Prime would be 6 wide, so much bigger than this. This model has a quite simple but elegant transformation. I'm going to start with just bringing the legs down here all the way until these gray pieces will hit the wheel on the back. Then we'll slide the legs so that the clip is in the middle of this handle piece. Do that on the other side. Then flip the feet up. And now you can have like this kind of standing cab version, which is kind of fun. Next, you're going to kind of pull the arms out a little bit so they slide out on this joint. We'll do that on the other side. And this just kind of gives some extra clearance for the arms to then swing out this way, and then to start swinging out this way. But in order to do this, you have to slide this clip to the very top of the piece to get clearance to slide around this way. So you can do this on the other side, rotate the forearm out, and then slide this up and rotate the shoulder forward. Now what we're going to do is rotate the entire waist around. And then last but not least, this is my favorite part of the transformation. You fold this open, flip the head up, and close it. And now you can just rotate the head, and there is mini Optimus Prime in his robot mode. So like I said before, the goal for this model was to make it fairly accurate while still making it really simple, and I think I've achieved that pretty well here. It has, once again, all the right color blocking with the blue head here, you know, red torso with the white stripe. It even has the translucent yellow on the waist here, and it has the blue legs with the gray grill detail there. One thing I didn't manage to get was the blue hands, and that's just because they're meant to be in the front of the truck here, and I just didn't want to have blue in the front of the truck. I thought it would be a better trade-off to just keep these red right for now. And it's not a huge deal, but if it really bothers you, then you can swap out these 1x1 plates with blue ones instead of red ones. On the back, there's not really any kibble other than this grill in the back. He does have this like blocky red backpack, which is pretty accurate to what he has in the cartoon. And one really cool feature is that the inside actually has a matrix of leadership, which can be accessed by sliding open the clear panels. And there you can see it inside there. To grab it, you just kind of untransform this a little by opening the hinge. And here it is. It really just consists of a 1x2 jumper plate and a 1x1 round orange plate. So bringing this all back here, you can use the stud in the jumper plate to have Prime hold it in his hand like this, so he can like mimic the scene where he's like on his deathbed giving the Matrix to Hot Rod. And Prime's other accessory, once again, is his gun, which with the headlight brick upside down like this, can plug right into his hand, so he can hold it like this and do all sorts of cool poses. Speaking of poses, this Mini Prime is decently well articulated for a figure this size. The head can go forward and back and rotate side to side. The arms can rotate forward and back and go in and out. And the elbows can also kind of go in and out like this on stud friction. And there's a 90-degree elbow bend here. The legs can go forward, but they can't really go back because this is limited by the wheel here. They can also sort of do this like side-to-side thing here, which is kind of useful for posing, but really more so for getting things out of the way. Like this can go forward like this, and then the leg has more space to go back like that. And then the knee has a bend here, a little bit over 90 degrees. And the foot has this forward and back pivot here. There's also this waist swivel due to transformation, but it kind of breaks the sculpt a little bit, so I don't love to use that as a joint. For size comparisons, here's Mini Prime next to a minifigure, and here he is next to my Bumblebee. And you can see it's taller than Bumblebee, but it's still pretty small in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, that's all I have to say about my Mini G1 Optimus Prime. Stay tuned for videos for 2 other G1 Optimus Primes that I've built out of LEGO. And I'll see you guys next time with my next LEGO Transformer.